You're tuned into Visions, a business and community affairs program designed to encourage and promote entrepreneurship in Central Alabama.
Thanks for tuning into another edition of Vision. Cedric Vaughn, excited about our guest today, Montgomery County District Attorney Daryl Bailey in the studio with us. Attorney Bailey, thanks for being with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Very excited. Of course, we've been trying to work out your schedule to get you down here, and thanks for coming to be with us today.
Absolutely.
You have a very important, very serious job as a Montgomery County District Attorney, and so, you know, if we just start in a 101 fashion, you know, just kind of give us, for those who may not know, just a overview of some of the responsibilities of the DA's office.
Well, most people know me as the person who puts people in prison, but it's a little deeper than that. You know, obviously, we are in charge of prosecution in my office, prosecution of felonies and misdemeanors that happen within the city and within the county of Montgomery. But we also have a worthless check division. We also do child support. We have a juvenile division. We have a family justice center. We have a Helping Montgomery Families initiative. So we're very busy in our office. Not only are we doing prosecution, but we're doing a lot of community outreach as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I asked a few people about you coming today and what should we talk with the district attorney about. A couple of things came up were the recurrence of violent criminals in the community, but one of the other issues that came up was child support.
Yeah.
And of course that's been a hot button, and you got some fathers who I guess have some problem with the policies, and then I guess you got some mothers who have some challenge with the policy. So where are we currently with that issue?
Well, that is a big issue with me because I'm very serious about making sure that our children are taken care of. I'm not the one who decides how much a person pays, a parent pays. That is up to a judge. A judge looks at a person's income, they look at what it takes to provide for that child, they set the amount. I'm the one who enforces it. And I'm very serious about making sure that our children are taken care of. We have seen so many examples here in Montgomery County where children are going without things, without meals, without clothes, without things because the non-custodial parent is not providing the support that they're supposed to through a court order. Mm-hmm. We've even seen some parents who have been ordered to pay as little as $20 a month who aren't doing it. Mm. And they're employed. We're not going after people who are unemployed or down on their luck who can barely afford to live themselves. We're going after the folks who are employed, who have these kids and who are not supporting our children. Because that is a big factor in the development of a child, making sure that they're taken care of adequately. Mm-hmm. So we've done some roundups in the past, and we're going to be doing some roundups here in the near future. Right now, we are collecting in Montgomery County, since I've been DA, about $1.5 million a month.
A month.
Not a year, a month.
Wow.
And I want that to go up because there's so many more millions that are uncollected every month in Montgomery County, and we're working to make sure that that money is collected and that our children are taken care of.
So the effect that, you know, mothers not having the monies that they need to support their children as far as the crime and the violence in our communities, what is the synergy there?
Well, you know, I'm sure there is some type of relation when you have a child who's not being properly taken care of, that will lead to problems such as going into the criminal justice system. But there are a lot of other immediate problems that I'm concerned about as well, and it's just the well-being of the child, making sure that they are taken care of, that they have clothes on their back and food in their stomachs. Mm-hmm. And that's our main focus, is making sure that these children are taken care of. And I think a well-developed, a well-nourished child, a well-taken care of child has a better start, a better chance at being successful than one who's not.
So if we use that as a segue, now one of the things that you're doing to try to help with the development of our children in our community is a program that you've launched called iLead.
Yeah.
And so just kind of give us an overview of what you do in that program.
Sure. When I first became district attorney, one of the things that I noticed is that we were prosecuting, a lot of the same folks over and over. But the other thing that I noticed is that the violent criminals were getting younger. We had two 15-year-olds and a 13-year-old at the time I became DA charged with murder. And I said, I began thinking to myself, we have got to do something about that. You know, the statutory duty of a DA is to prosecute cases, put people in prison, that type of thing. And that's really all I'm required to do. But as a citizen of Montgomery and as someone who cares about kids, I said I cannot sit on the sidelines and watch this any longer. I've got to do something and be proactive to try to make a difference and try to put a stop to it. Because quite honestly, I put someone in prison, there's someone right behind them ready to take that person's place on the street. And we've got to do something in order to make our community safe to prevent that from happening. So I started looking for programs, and I came across a program in Los Angeles County, California, called the Project Lead. And the program's pretty simple. You take prosecutors and police officers, you go into 5th grade classrooms, and you don't go and lecture them just one day and talk to them, once or twice a year. You go in there every other week. You develop a relationship with these children throughout the school year. You become mentors to them, you tutor them. We teach them about economics, which is very, very important. We teach them about the law. We teach them about making good choices, what happens if you make bad choices. And we just talk to them about life. And we try to become partners with the teachers and partners with their parents in helping these kids get a good start in life. And the goal is to reduce the number of children eventually coming into the criminal justice system. I would love to put myself out of a job. I bet you won't hear a politician say that much, but I'd love to put myself out of a job. I'd love for us to live in a violence-free community. I know that's not going to happen, but I really would love to try to cut down on some of the violence that we're seeing and some of our children going into the criminal justice system. One of the biggest things we talk to our kids about is it only takes one time getting arrested that could ruin your life. It's hard to get a job without having a record these days, but having something on your record could really ruin your chances of getting a good job, ruin your chances of graduating from high school, ruin your chances of going to college, those type of things. So we try to put that impression on the children.
Well, we've got one photo, we got a few photos that you sent us about you in the program, and so that our viewers can see it. And so we want to try to go to one of those photos now so that folks can see it. So on the screen now, that's a wide shot, and you're there with the guys at Valiant Cross?
That's Valiant Cross. We have been trying to partner with Valiant Cross throughout their school year. This is, well, they just finished their first year, as a matter of fact. And we became partners with them because some of our students from the iLead program, we got into Valiant Cross. Okay. We felt that was a good fit for these students. They focus a lot on discipline, a lot on structure, but they double the amount of math and double the amount of English that the kids get. And I think it's a great, great school. And we were fortunate enough with the Brock brothers to get some of our kids from iLead into their school. So we've been keeping up with them all school year long. They had a very successful year. They're doing really good. I'm looking for them to expand and become a great educational institution in the city of Montgomery. Excellent.
We got another photo we're going to pull up. That's a group shot. What's that guy back there? I'm not sure. It looks like an animal back there.
You know, we are probably the only district attorney's office in the country that has a mascot.
Okay, is that what? Okay,
that is Justice.
Justice. Okay.
We had a mascot. We bought a mascot a couple of years ago with the idea
that's innovative.
Well, yeah, you know it is. What's really hard is getting someone to wear it during the summer.
Understand.
But we feel that's an easy way for us to get kids' attention.
Right.
And just another way for us to get into places where normally hearing from a guy in a suit, they might not listen to, but when you bring somebody like Justice in, kids light up, you get their attention, and we're able to communicate our message to them. So that was one of our iLead classes with Justice.
All right, well, we've got another photo we're going to go to so that our viewers, on the screen now is a group shot of you. I think you're teaching the class. Did you say that was at the police academy?
Yeah, we at the end of the school year, we take all of our iLead classes, and we have over 100 students that are involved in our iLead class, and Valiant Cross came with us this year. And we do a field trip with them. We raise money in our office to pay for the field trip, and we get some things donated. The county commission helps out. But we take them on a riverboat ride, we feed them pizza, and then we took them to the police academy training facility where they saw a helicopter fly in, and the helicopter did a demonstration. The K-9 unit did a demonstration. We had a motorcycle and a police car do demonstration. But we also use that time to bring in speakers to talk to the kids about life and about their individual successes and how they became successessful. This year we were so fortunate to have a University of Alabama football player.
All right, yeah, I'm going to transition to that photo, yeah. And we're going to put a disclaimer on that photo. We're going to say that we know that you're an Auburn man, but that's very gracious of you to allow Mr. Hamilton to come and be a part of the program.
Well, we were very happy when we found out that Sean Hamilton was going to come. Of course, he is a national champion football player.
Yes.
But he is a tremendous young man who knew at an early age how important education was. And when he talked to the kids, it blew me away because he stressed the importance of not only education, but who you hang around and having positive influences and positive friends instead of hanging around the bad friends. And he was a great impact on the kids because a lot of our young men, especially in our I-League classes, want to be sports figures. They want to be football players or basketball players. And we don't tell them, we don't try to downplay their dreams and tell them, hey, you'll never make it into the NFL or Major League Baseball, which, the statistics will show you that they won't probably. But what we try to do is encourage them to follow that dream, but tell them how important it is to get that education as a backup.
That's good.
I use Cam Newton as a prime example all the time. Cam, with all of his millions and being the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, he knew how important it was to go back to Auburn in the offseason and finish his education.
That's right.
And I think that our children that are in the I-Lead program got that message of how important education is. And Sean reiterated that as well. He said despite whether he gets a pro offer or not, he's going to get his college education because he knows how important it is.
That's good.
I mean, he's a broken leg away or a broken arm away or broken back away from ending his career, and he knows that, and every athlete should know that.
Well, we've got about a minute left, Attorney. We're going to invite you back. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there now. We're going to have to invite you back because the issue of violent crime in the region is not something we can talk about in a short amount of time.
Right.
I had a person to tell me the other day they wanted to ask you about the issue of a person committing a robbery, going to jail, and getting out on bail and committing a robbery in another county.
Bail has been one of my pet projects as well. Our bail amounts in Alabama have not been revised in several decades. And one of the things I have focused on is bail for people committing violent crimes.
Hold that point right there.
Absolutely.
We're going to invite you back because we got to talk about that.
We
So
will.
now you know what we're going to talk about. Next time you come back to the Visions program with District Attorney Daryl Bailey. Thanks for coming to be with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
That's going to do it for us on this segment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.